But at this moment in time, I have the privilege and the honor of welcoming the esteemed Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, Minister Anil Nandlall, a highly respected leader. Minister Nandlall, we do know, has dedicated his life and his career to advancing justice and upholding the rule of law in Guyana. And we know when he does this effortlessly, and we love listening to the repeated tapes of listening to Mr. Nandlall speak. He, we do know, has championed numerous legal reforms aimed at fostering transparency, equality, and integrity within our nation. We are very privileged to have him. Ladies and gentlemen, Minister Anil Nandlall, put your hands together and give him a warm welcome. Do you know he also sings? I don't know. Let's see what happens.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. His Excellency President Dr. Muhammad Irfan Ali, my distinguished cabinet colleagues, members of the diplomatic corps, respected elders, my Hindu brothers and sisters, my non-Hindu brothers and sisters, it is indeed a privilege for me to be here and to be afforded an opportunity to speak to you on this momentous occasion. I should begin by congratulating all of the persons who so masterfully coordinated and organized this massive and spectacular event in record time. I know when President Ali made the decision that we will have this event here, and I am amazed, and you must be amazed, at the level of work that would have been injected into making this a reality, both at the level of the government, but most importantly, to the persons in Region 3 who would have had to work night and day to make this possible. Congratulations to all of you. President Ali has already etched himself permanently and formidably in the annals of our country's history. He will be recognized, no doubt, as the architect of modern Guyana. And there are many, many things that future generations will point to and say that that was accomplished during Dr. Ali's presidency, and that was accomplished during Dr. Ali's presidency. And I'm speaking about physical, transformational projects that we are witnessing across this country. And he has 5 more years to go, so he will even transform Guyana to even greater heights. But what I want to recognize of Dr. Ali's presidency this evening is not the massive infrastructural projects to which we will all point to and which future generations of Guyana will benefit from. Dr. Ali has brought to the presidency and to the governance of Guyana a different content, an intangible content, which is as valuable as all the massive transformation that we are seeing around our country. And that is, President Ali has brought a level of religion and a level of spirituality to the presidency and the governance of this country never seen before. And we must salute him and recognize him for that. This, again, is his brainchild. It is the first time that the government is collaborating to host an event like this. And no doubt, under his leadership, we will replicate this manyfold across the country and will make it many times bigger than what we are witnessing here tonight. We live in a country where our Constitution guarantees us freedom of religion, and we are a diverse nation of 6 people with different historical evolution, heritage, culture, religion, etc. And we are fortunate to be able to celebrate all of our differences together in peace and in harmony. We celebrate Phagwa, we celebrate Diwali, we celebrate Eid, we celebrate Ramadan, we celebrate Easter, we celebrate Christmas, and we celebrate all the major holidays of our great religions in this country. And we do so with seamless ease, and sometimes we tend to take that for granted. And we must never do that. As we celebrate here together, as a kaleidoscope of cultures, there are still millions of people across the globe who are being slaughtered simply because of their religion and their religious belief. And therefore, we must never take this for granted. It is in our Constitution, and it is our collective duty and responsibility to protect these rights and freedoms. This is not a place to talk politics, but we must never shun talking about politics, because politics and religion go hand in hand. It is what makes our lives. It was a Diwali night a few years ago that one of the most despicable constitutional act was committed. A president of this land unilaterally appointed a person to chair the GCOM. And if that person was allowed to get his way, then where our country would have been today? Certainly we would not have been celebrating Diwali and all the festivals the manner in which we are celebrating it today. I give you that live example so that you always have in your consciousness that we must never take these rights and freedoms for granted. Diwali is one of the most auspicious festivals on the Hindu calendar. As Sri Ravidev said earlier, it is one of the most ancient festivals whose meaning, whose origin may have been immersed, diluted, and perhaps lost with the passage of time. Depending upon what part of India you come from, Diwali has a different historical significance. As my sister Sonia said, in certain parts of India, it commemorates or celebrates the return of Lord Rama from 14 years of exile in Banwas to the city of Ayodhya, where they welcome him with lit diyas from the jungle onto the city of Ayodhya to regain the throne of Ayodhya. In other parts of India, it signifies harvest time. In other parts of India, it's the beginning of the financial year. But wherever it is celebrated, there is one universal message and signification. And it is that it signifies light over darkness. It celebrates knowledge over ignorance. And it celebrates all that is good over all that is negative and evil. And therefore, Diwali is every day in our lives. And when we celebrate these great festivals that are hundreds of years old, they must remain relevant by us inculcating the various messages, whether it is Idul Adha, whether it is Idul Fitr, whether it's Easter, whether it's Christmas. Each of these great festivals has a meaning. And as we celebrate them, we must remember to inculcate those meanings to guide us in our everyday lives. Our foreparents did a great job in ensuring that these traditions that we now celebrate have been kept alive. And they did so under great stress and under dire circumstances, and would have made great sacrifices. They did so from the lodges, from the slave quarters, in subhuman and worse than subhuman conditions. But they maintained these traditions, and today we are celebrating them. Our country, no doubt, is transforming, and we are living that transformation. Our cultures and our religious practices suffered the same way that our economy suffered, that we as a people were stagnated in terms of our human development. So did our culture and our heritage. And with our newfound prosperity, as we are building out infrastructure, as we are transforming our country, we also have to ensure that we pay adequate attention and we develop our cultural practices, our festivities, our heritage to the same level. Countries have gone ahead of us. Trinidad, for example, has a massive Diwali Nagar that lasts for weeks. We couldn't do that because we didn't have food at one point in time. We didn't have flour to make prasad. We didn't have dal, we didn't have chana, we didn't have potato. That's our culture, that's our history. Fortunately, those days will never be ever visited upon us again. Now that we are where we are, we have to ensure that we invest heavily to keep our cultural activities, our festivities, and these religious activities alive. With our president in charge and with your government, we are assuring you, and the president, as I said, is leading from the front in that regard. You must never be worried again about the way your culture will be progressing, the way your religion will be developing, or that there will ever be any type of bigotry, discrimination of any type, or segregation of any type once this government is in power. Never ever must you have that fear. And that is our assurance to you as we celebrate all these different kaleidoscope of festivals and festivities. Every Guyanese is assured an equal place, and that is why the president's personal national anthem is the creation of one Guyana. One Guyana where that kaleidoscope of culture and heritage will merge into creating that unique Guyanese culture. So brothers and sisters, once again, it's a great pleasure for me to be here on behalf of His Excellency. I know he will speak. On behalf of my cabinet colleagues, on behalf of the government of Guyana, on behalf of my family, and on behalf of all the people of Guyana, I wish you a happy Shubh Diwali. May Lord Rama's blessings be with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nandlall. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. We do know that everything he said continues to give us more hope right here in Guyana. And he mentioned about the next 5 years, which I'm not going to get into, but of course we do know lots of good things in store for us.